All right, well, here it is, September 22nd. It's day 2 of youth season. We got those cameras hung, got 2 stands set yesterday, and now we are making our drive down to go and try and watch for this big deer. We've got a big cold front coming through today. I know Justin's hunting with Skip and Charlie. I know Bella and Mike are out hunting again, and I expect that tonight's going to be really good. And what the significance of that is and why we're making this drive is because we've seen this deer time and time again all year. The last 2 times we've been out to look for him, we haven't seen him. And if he's still on that property or somewhere nearby, today we should be able to lay eyes on him. So essentially what we're fearing, or it's pretty natural time of year to do it, is he could be leaving at any point, any day. And tonight, if we don't see him, I think we'll confirm that we need to cast a wider net. And at the end of the day, I mean, we've got 1 piece to hunt him, and that's better than 0, but you know, we'll see what ends up occurring here. So the front's here, 67 degrees, about a 25-degree drop from yesterday. And I am excited to see if we can't lay eyes on him. That would make me feel extremely good if we could finally see him again. I mean, there's no way he's not in this corn at some point. There's none. He's not going to stay on this 60 acres. Doesn't mean he won't some of the time. And I mean, one thing that'll be really interesting, when have we not seen him? When those south winds changed. You know, maybe that's just his south wind bed, you know? It really could be that simple. And then up north, he's over here. Yeah. I don't know. And that's not to say he doesn't end up there. You know, he might actually be smarter than we think and walk with the wind in his face at some point. I mean, might as well get a camera set on that little bitch. I think I heard you. I got him here, you know. Is there any old natural scrape? Did you hear that? Somebody sounded like it coughed. Watch it be right here. Dude, what the heck? Is it a coon? Wasn't that coughing?
Yeah, that was something. I got it all.
Here.
Angry at us, whatever it is.
It's got to be a coon, right?
I think.
It's a coon. There's a coon here.
What the hell is going on?
Must be a den right here or something. Cold front's got everybody on their feet. Let's get this dang thing up. And then we'll make it on that guy. And that should still get any south to north, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna move like a step this way. All right, let's go. We'll go in there at some point, but not yet. I think what we'll do, let's go drive to that other spot. Remember where we watched from the road to the south? Mm-hmm. We saw all those deer in that big like terraces or whatever you're calling. Mm-hmm. Let's just go watch that, and then we'll come here last light. So, I mean, we got about an hour. What time does it get dark now? 7?
7:30. Oh, the buck to the right are fighting.
Well, this isn't a deer hunter's dream right now. We had to be out here looking for deer. Let's cold front, and we just saw a buck work a scrape, 2 bucks spar, and I think we're gonna get the show. They're all at the scrape right now. Doing my best to freehand on AK. Hopefully this isn't focus. Oh, yep, we got another one. I love Iowa. I'm so happy it's fall. I don't know what else to say.
Small bucks. Another small buck. 2 does. Alright, we gotta bounce. We gotta bounce. Gotta get there. Come on, big deer. Be on the property we can hunt, please.
We just got done with the Monday show here. I wanted to just come check this to see if this cutty link's working. I'm not necessarily expecting many photos. Cool if it was.
Hey. Started working, huh? Take that.
That's the deer he's been with. Where are you at, big boy? Hey, how about that? I mean, that's the deer he's been with.
He's good looking.
How about that? So he came from the draw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't that the deer he's been with? Gotta be.
Yeah.
So we just put 2 and 2 together. That the buck we got on, what are we calling it? Coon Den?
Coon Hive.
Coon Hive. It's where the raccoons started growling at us yesterday. We made that mock scrape. Does are hitting it already, and then there was a nice buck on there. It was last night at like 11 or 1. I can't remember exactly what time it was.
12:30.
12:30. There you go. And I started looking at it. We thought maybe it was the buck that has been running with the big deer all summer. And I started like, I feel like I've seen this deer. I don't know why. It's because it's this deer right here. And I filmed him right there in summer when I rented that long lens. And so he was on a scrape, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile. So they're shifting around, and that's probably what this big deer's doing right now. And that's the story of what our hope is. That's why we're driving around, just to try to lay eyes on him. And, you know, trying to feel like we're doing something. But I'm hoping he's on his rut range, going and visiting, disappeared for a week. Talked to a couple different buddies that have seen the same thing. Buck disappeared, you get all freaked out. And then they got photos of him again. And I think we have at least a chance he'll return. So if we don't have any photos of him within the next 10 days, I'll be pretty concerned. Per se, concerned. But this property right here is the one we're gonna drive and go ask for. So, and there's a lot of green beans out there, a lot of rolling topography where you never see him. And in 2021, we saw him on this property multiple times. So it's very possible that's where he's at. But he must just come out in a hole that we can't see him. And then the other option is, that's why we put the camera up in the first place over there. There's a big cornfield just to the south of where we are that I thought maybe he went to. This sun is horrible. Like, you gotta think they're bedding up in that little like old homestead. Oop, that's a deer. not him. It's either the buck that's on that camera or it's the buck that he's usually with. See in this hole?
I thought I saw him for a second.
There.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Good on cars?
Yes.
100%. The deer we were just talking about. It's a mature buck right there, dude. Let's drop a pin on him, shall we? It's like I'm like a grandpa right now with my glasses up. I can't see nothing without my glasses. He's right here.
Okay, so following watching that split brow deer, obviously Evan and I are pretty dang excited that at least one of the bucks we filmed during the summer is in the area. Really, we only saw that buck, the big deer, and then the one that we're calling Buddy, who was with them all year, which is that younger 10 or whatever he ends up being. But right now, it's the 23rd of September. We wrap up the night and got to go to Eastern Iowa the next day. So Evan splits off. He goes over early, and then I actually headed over to my girlfriend Joy's. We shot our bows, hung out a little bit, got some work done. I think Evan went out, saw some deer, and so that was kind of just a wash of a day. But to end the day, I made a drive over to the Big Bird farm because I'd started getting a lot of photos recently. You know, if you watched the main show last week, got pictures of the 6x5 on a new trail camera that Evan and I had put up, and it was very, very early. I mean, obviously he had just gotten out of his bed. It's a spot we call the Land Bridge. And I started to think to myself, why are all these bucks all of a sudden shifting in? Well, I wanted to go see if they're picking the corn to the west. Sure enough, corn's coming out. So that was just a cool confirmation. From there, the next day, the 27th, drove over to Eastern Iowa, and what I was doing there, had some work to do, got to come see the guys at the office.
What's up?
How we doing?
Good. Just wrapped up.
I'm just here to ask for permission to hunt.
How's it going, buddy?
Can I have some permission to hunt here?
Yeah. Yeah, you can hunt wherever you want back here, dude. Have at it.
Heck yeah. 1 for 1 tonight. That's awesome. Well, that's how it's done. Pay attention now, residents. And while I was there, when I was going to sleep that night, I got some photos that just continued to build my excitement. So now here we are, September 26th, water trail. Who shows up working a scrape but the 6x5? And as you can see in the sequence of photos, really awesome. To me, it looks like he was actually coming out of the corn that night. But what this is confirming to me is that, and if you want to hear more about this, make sure to tune into the main show tomorrow. But 6x5 is definitely a bigger player in the social hierarchy in the Big Bird farm this year. I really couldn't even remember the last times we got drop time. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. But following the 26th, the 27th, what I ended up doing for the big deer, one with all the drop tines, I made the multiple hour drive east to knock on a door for permission. And the other thing that I did was, assuming that I wasn't going to be able to even get to the house because this place was giant, I ended up writing a letter as well. All right, step one, I went and bought, I needed an envelope because I want my letter to be somewhat professional looking. Bought a wedding card that I don't need, so that can be scrapped. And now I'm going to write a note. And this is more or less because I assume that I'm not going to get the chance to talk to anybody, but we'll see. Drop that off in the mailbox, and so kind of standby right now as far as what we're going to figure out on that permission, but we did what we could, knocked, left a message, and we'll see. Following that, the 28th, basically pinballed back to the office, made the decision that I was going to drive back to where the big deer is because I finally in the mail got the new CuddyLink home. It's a cell cam, but it doesn't take pictures, and so it sets up perfect for how we're running it on the big deer property. Shifted around some stuff, and so that's what we're gonna pick up.
Really hoping that this is gonna be checking a camera and getting finally a picture of the big deer.
That's the cove he's been in all summer. This is the property. Distantly you can see that tree line, and that's where we thought he'd been bedded. I had made a small mock scrape right here. Not sure if anything's actually hit it. Doesn't appear so. All right, I made it over here. So maybe, does look like it could be worth, but
You know, we're 12 yards off the drive here, so let's see what the heck we get on here. And I apologize for this disruptive filming in between, but you gotta take the shots. Is he gonna be on there, boys? Nothing on the home camera, so that tells me, and it's like not a good spot for a camera, frankly, so that tells me at least we're probably in a good spot. This is perfect for a non-picture taking camera. This mock scrape camera is gonna be the one we need to check. A lot of does, little buck, bunch of little bucks. So it's definitely not an every night camera. $9.25. That's a different deer. Nice buck, not him. There's that funky deer I got. And there's the deer that we checked. So, big deer was in fact not on the camera. So there's that, which is what it is. So he was not on there, which is fine. Get this guy. Actually, I didn't even turn this guy off. Really thought we were gonna get him on there, but we did not. That's what it is. Goal right now is gonna be try to find a mock scrape or an open scrape, put this camera on so we have that on the cutting link. We're gonna walk this field edge and see if I can find anything. All right, well, I've just made 2 mock scrapes here. Going right here. Going right there. I can hear a fawn bleeding right now. I can literally hear a bat, bat. What I'm gonna do is put this, I've got this cutting link camera here. And now I'm gonna take this Trax that was here and move it. But 2 mock scrapes in this one camera line gets the same trail I had. So hopefully we can get big boy.
Well, plans have changed.
Still have velvet on the tips of his antlers?
I think he does on his left knee too. Top left, yeah. So definitely.
Let's go!
Well, Dave, since you got a camera and I don't, I guess the recap is I was just talking to Evan about opening day plans. Just got those stands on for 6x5. And ended it with, you know, I guess you never know. Something could happen. We might end up hunting the big deer. But whatever. Evan goes, miracles do happen. Hang up the phone, saw a cutting link. Boom. Right there.
There you be. What camera is that?
That would be about 25 yards from the stand. North wind tonight would have been perfect to kill him, dude. Perfect. He's doing what we said, like he always does. He walks it with it at his back, dude.
What would so they called the short-tailed deer Bob back in the day. What would be the opposite of that to name this guy?
I don't know, dead.
Dead.
I wanted to be. Dude, 6x5 and him. What a blessing to be trying to figure out which one to hunt.
67 call notifications.
That's what he notices.
Lance might have just changed.
Just like that.
Miracles do happen.
Miracles do happen.
Well, if you made it this far, as you can tell, it has been one heck of a crazy week here. We've been pinballing all across the state trying to get the permission here at the office. And I don't know, I mean, there's no better position I could be in with Evan going into opening day. We've got the 6x5, we've got the big deer, and we've got stands hung for both. Looking ahead, October 1st, man, the cold front that's gracing Iowa, we've got high northwest winds, and we got high pressure. We got it all. Obviously it is a Tuesday, so I understand a lot of people are gonna be at work, but if you can find a way to get out in the woods and you got a buck that you know might be close by, it's worth taking a shot. Check back next week, see what we end up doing, but we're gonna do our best to find ourselves in a tree, and Lord willing, we might be able to repeat October 1st, 2020. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next week.